welcome back to another recipe episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy, and today I have got something absolutely delicious going on for you. I am making a tomato basil with a meat type sauce, a tomato basil meat sauce, rigatoni. It is so simple to make. I can't even tell you how easy this is to make. I've already got my ground chuck going on in the background, as I'm sure you can already hear. It is so easy. I don't really know what to tell you. It's just so simple, and it's absolutely delicious as always. And I think you're really gonna like this recipe. So let's go ahead and get started. What I've got going on here in my skillet here with my high sides, I've got some ground chuck browning. I've already drained the fat off of it. There wasn't really a whole lot because this is really only like a half a pound of the ground chuck. If you want to use turkey meat, you go right ahead. You use turkey. If you want to use chicken, use chicken. You use whatever your little heart desires. And on the back burner here, I've got my water coming to a boil for my rigatoni. And now that I've already got my the grease drained from my ground chuck, I'm going to go ahead and add in about 2 medium-sized cloves of garlic and some onion. This actually was a large onion, but I only used like I don't know, about a quarter of it. And we're just going to give that a nice stir, and we're going to just combine this really well. I love when garlic and onion hits the pan. Let me show you what else we're going to be using with this today. I've got a couple cans of just the petite diced tomatoes. That's what I like to use. We're going to also add in a little bit of minced onion. And I get this all the time. You've already used the chopped onions. Why are you using minced onions as well? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm using the minced onions. They offer a more oniony flavor to the dish than just the regular onions, but I like to use the chopped onions for the added texture. When I'm looking for something with a little bit more of an oniony flavor, I always like to add the minced onion as well. You know, you just can't, you cannot overflavor a dish. I don't think you can overflavor a dish. Okay, and even though we drained the grease that was on our ground chuck here, I like to add just a little bit, a couple drizzles of olive oil, because olive oil and basil and garlic, they're absolutely a match made in heaven. I love the flavors of that. And olive oil is good for you, and olive oil goes great in any type of, you know, Italian type dish. Now give that a nice toss, and then we're going to add our tomatoes. And if you don't have the petite dice, if you have just the regular tomatoes, you go ahead and use those if that's what you like to use. I just prefer the petite dice. I just like the little pieces of the tomatoes. That's just my preference, but you use whatever you have on hand. And we're going to give that a stir. And then we're also going to add, well, let me find my spoons here. This is a garlicky dish, so we're going to add about a teaspoon of garlic powder along with the garlic cloves. And then we're going to add about a teaspoon of the minced onion as well. I like it. And then I've got a nice handful of the fresh basil that I'm just going to tear up inside of this dish. I removed the big stem. I tore the big stem off of it because I really don't want that in there. Which you could put it in there and then just dig it out before you start to serve this, because it has a lot of flavor to it as well. It's not tearing good today. And then we're going to give that a stir. I'm not going to add any additional salt because, you know, the tomatoes have a nice salty base to them. Oh, I like the smell of this already. Let's turn that up a little bit so it can get going. And I am still out of pepper for my pepper grinder, so we're gonna add just a little bit of pepper, or a lot in my case. And then what I want you to also add to this, I mean this is optional, but I like to add just a nice little pinch of crushed red pepper flakes. And we're gonna let this cook until our pasta's done for about 10 minutes. All right, my rigatoni is done. I cooked it al dente, and it is over draining over by my sink. I went ahead and gave that a stir. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a taste for, you know, just to make sure that it's well seasoned. It's gonna be hot. Oh my goodness, that is perfect. That is delicious, my friends, and I haven't even thrown this dish together yet. Simply amazing. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to add about, we're gonna add about 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And we're gonna give that a stir. This is gonna make this dish so rich, so incredibly rich. And we're gonna give that a toss. And we're just gonna let that heat through. It's also gonna thicken it just a little bit. And what's perfect is the rigatoni has the nice little ridges in there, and every bit of that delicious sauce is just going to adhere perfectly to this pasta. Now go ahead and add your rigatoni in. Careful, I don't want you to get burnt. Just give it a toss. I don't think we're going to add all of the rigatoni. I may have overmade it. Overcooked, not overcooked it, made too much of the rigatoni. And just give that a toss. This is so good. And we're going to let this heat through. Now what I want you to do is take grated cheese here, grated Parmesan cheese, and we're just gonna take it right over that dish. And of course, you can use as much or as little as you like, but you know, the more the better. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to dig into this. I'm going in for a bite. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I gotta go in for a bite of this. Let me taste this. Dropping on my fingers. That is so good. I couldn't wait to do the taste test at the end, you guys. All right, now let's go ahead and serve this up. Oh, how beautiful that is. My basil, just to make it look pretty. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Love, love, love. And then I like to dance it with another little bit of cheese there. Why not? Look at that. Look what we created together. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Now, this wouldn't be in the kitchen with Sandy if I didn't. Take a bite. You know, if you did not want to use the heavy whipping cream, I'm not really sure why you wouldn't, but this dish would be perfect just like that without the heavy whipping cream. But the heavy whipping cream adds such a creamy texture, creamy goodness to this that is absolutely phenomenal. My word. And the basil and the onions and just everything combined together makes this absolutely delicious. And if you have not yet subscribed, I think you need to do so very quickly. Give me a thumbs up. Follow me all over social media. I just can't stop eating this. You know, I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Delicious.